What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, it's going to be a full review video on the ZX10R. I'm going to show you exactly everything I had to do to get that bike to its current situation. So grab your choice of beverage, have a sit, relax, and enjoy the video. Alright guys, really quickly, I'm going to run you guys through all the damage I've seen on this bike. And we're going to talk about what the plan is to getting this back on the road. Okay guys, right now we have the bike in the garage. It's secured on the lift. A quick inspection shows that the front fender is completely destroyed. The brake components, however, appear to be okay and reusable. The entire fairing kit would need to be replaced because there's extensive damage to those. But that is expected with the extent of damage on this bike. Over here, as you can see, the engine cover has some gouge in it, some scratches. We're going to fix that up for sure. Over here, as you can see, there's some oil residue. It's quite concerning, but I'm going to need to take a closer look when we open this up. As you can see, there's some damage to the rear set over here. It's contacting on the quick shifter. That would need to be repaired or replaced. The swing arm is pretty banged up. There's lots of scratches. The spacer, the axle was installed incorrectly. I'm not certain what the extent of damage is, but that's something for us to also look at when we start tearing this apart. The rear subframe is completely destroyed. As you can see, the rear passenger peg is missing. So we're going to have to be replacing the entire subframe assembly and throwing some new passenger pegs on this bike. Right here, there is a dent on the gas tank that would need to be repaired. Like I said before, the fairings have to go. The clippings have a very bad gouge, so that would need to be replaced. This bike was also a theft recovery, so all the ignition system will need to be replaced. That's including the rear passenger seat compartment, the gas tank lid, and the ignition system. The right side, obviously, it's not any better. The clip is completely separated from the mounting position. The brake reservoir is completely missing. The Brembo brake lever on the right side is in very poor condition, same as the clutch lever on the left side. Radiator coolant reservoir was destroyed. Over here, as you can see, the engine cover has some scrapes on it. Same as the frame, lots of scrapes and scratches. So all of this would need to be taken care of. The rear set on the right side of the motorcycle also has some damage. This Yoshimura exhaust, as you can see, the mid pipe is destroyed. The muffler or the end can also have some serious damages to it. So we're going to be replacing these parts. Over at the top here, the fairing stay did sustain some damage. As you can see, the left side mirror is completely ripped open. It's not in place anymore. We also have a cracked headlight. Multiple damages to this headlight for sure, so we might have to replace this or possibly repair it. The ignition system is completely destroyed. Like I mentioned before, this bike was a theft recovery. I'm not sure exactly what these guys were trying to do with this rubber band over here, but we're going to fix this up to back to OEM or even better. Some very shady stuff went up in there. I don't know what the hell they were thinking, but luckily this is back in my hands. We're going to get it back on the road. And if you look at the top over here, this is how much of the box is sticking out over there. Way more. I doubt it's supposed to be that way. So that's something for me to look into just to be safe. The ram intake does have a crack over here. That needs to be replaced too before this can get back on the road. before we get too deep into this, I'm going to go ahead and throw on a booster park on this, try to get it started up. Make sure that this engine does run before we start throwing money on this project. Alright guys, she does power on, so that's really exciting, but we're not out of the woods yet because we do need to make sure that she does start up. And right now, I'm a little bit scared to actually try it because I don't want to get any bad news, so let's see what's going to happen. We're going to try starting this up, and if it does start, just run it for a little bit because I'm not sure if there's enough engine oil and coolant, but I just want to make sure that it's working before I start diving deeper into it. Let's go. So she does run. That's super exciting because if you watch my videos, you know that sometimes when you buy this thing from auction, they do not run and you dive into a whole big pile of shit. So she does run. I only had it on for a couple seconds, but that's good. I'm happy about that. So I'm gonna do a full oil change in this, make sure it has enough oil, throw in a new filter, probably start it up and let it warm up and see if anything happens. Guys, quick update, as you can see, most of the front end is completely taken apart already, and that's really good progress. But over down here where the stator cover is, I'm guessing there's lots of oil residue, and that has me really worried. So now I'm gonna lift this bike up, clean up the table, try to clean up that area and see if there's anything I should be worried about.
Oh, shit.
Alright guys, and just like that, the tank fairings is off this motorcycle and it's looking good so far. No heating damage, so that's always a bonus. The next thing to do right now is to lift this tank up, try to get into the airbox, see what condition it is, the air filter is, see if it needs to be replaced while I'm in here. If it isn't, I'm going to try to clean this as much as possible because as you can obviously tell, this motorcycle is dirty, so we want it nice and clean. my gosh, it's filthy in here. So I'm glad I took the tank out. Right now, I'm gonna get into this area. We're gonna clean it out as much as possible. Slap it all back together. Making really good progress. Tail section is completely taken apart now. Moving down low, the gas tank, everything is out. We're about to clean that out. So I did let myself get carried away cleaning the bike. It is now clean. I am happy with the way it turned out. The next thing we're gonna do is open the airbox and get to cleaning and see what the filter looks like, because I'm sure it is quite filthy. On the ZX-10R, as you can see, it has secondary injectors up top, so I'm sure in there is going to be quite filthy with gunk and whatnot. So I need to clean that out with some brake clean, get it nice and clean, just like the stop over here, and then close it back up. Alright guys, you just saw me clean out this whole bike. All the interior is nice and clean. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I opened the airbox, I cleaned out the air filter, but that's just temporary because I have a new air filter coming in. It's just not going to be here for this video, so I'm just going to clean it out and be able to run the bike in the meantime before that comes in. Next, I'm going to move on to completely putting this all back together. I'm going to put the gas tank back on, run this motorcycle so I can do that long-awaited oil change I've been trying to do. Alright guys, as you can see, we have the tank mounted again once on the motorcycle. It's time to install the newly purchased battery that just arrived. Crank this baby up and let her warm up and do an oil change in it. Alright guys, as you can see, we have the destroyed key assembly out. It's really messed up. As you can see, they completely destroyed it and glued it back on with some JB wet, I think it is. But luckily, the new one is in and it's looking good. So I'm going to attempt to install this bad boy in place, even though I don't really want to do it because over here where it installs, it looks a little bit rough. I would like to paint that before putting it back in. But I guess the test fit is good. We still have a long way to go before this gets installed. As you can see, all of that needs to come out before this can go back in place in there. So let's get to some cleanup. So right now I have currently removed the bike off the lift. It's currently sitting on the floor. Reason is so I'm able to swivel the neck this way and get to those two rivets that secures the original ignition in place and get them out so I can install the new ignition assembly. Alright guys, as you can see, I've completely cleaned this out. The new ignition is ready to go back in, and that's super excellent. So right now, without much more talking, I'm going to throw it in, completely secure with the new hardware I picked up, and some Loctites. Let's get to it. Alright guys, right now as you can see, I've installed a brand new ignition system. The steering lock does work, that is perfect. And with that done, let's get this bike back on the lift and we can start throwing some more parts on this motorcycle. Alright guys, right now as you can see we've made some really good progress. The wiring harness for the ignition is completely installed. We're going to try it out right now, see if this actually works, and if it does, that's going to be excellent and we can move on. That is good, it does work, everything lights up. Shutting it up. Now the next thing to accomplish up front here is making sure that these forks are aligned properly. I'm sure this bike has been messed with in the past. As you can see, this is how much of the fork is sticking out here and way more on the other side. So we don't want that. So I'm going to consult the service manual. I'm going to put up a picture here maybe and let you guys know exactly how much this should be and adjust it properly. Alright guys, the new clip-on is on and as you can see it's looking good. I can't wait to fully put this back together and just get a feel for what this looks like. I love it. So without much more talk, I'm going to transfer everything from the old clip-on to the new one and see what this baby looks like. Okay guys, as you can see, lots of progress has been made. The throttle side is fully installed now. I cleaned that all up. On the left side, everything is good over there. But the one problem I'm having right now, as you can obviously tell, after installing the heated grips on the left side, I figured I might as well test it before completely doing it. This side works. Like, it's super hard, you can barely hold on to it. But this other side, nothing. I messed around with the wiring trying to figure it out. Nothing seems to work. So it looks like this came dead on arrival, which is very unfortunate because I was happy to have this installed with a clean install. So obviously this has to come off again. Gonna get sent back, and I'm probably gonna order the Oxfords and just be done with it. Even though it's a lot more pricey than this one, but you never know. Like, this is what happens when you get the cheap stuff. So gonna take it off and send it back. Oh my gosh guys, I saved you guys the trouble of watching me trying to figure out what was going on with this bike, swearing and cursing and all sorts of things. It was a pain trying to figure out this rear brake light. Because of the accident, a lot of wiring was destroyed, obviously. And when I hooked up this brake light, it would not work. I tried everything. I spent almost 2 hours trying to figure it out. And it all came down to one little cable that was not fastening properly. I don't know how that happened. It was a pain, guys, no lies, but thankfully everything figured out. As you can see, it's working. Probably gonna close shop for tonight. It's way too late. It's almost 9 p.m. Tomorrow, I'm gonna get back to this and keep on wrenching. Alright guys, when I ordered this is supposed to be a tinted or dark smoke reservoir, but obviously it's not, so I don't know if I want to install this. Probably return it and get the dark smoke. I think it's going to go very well with the theme for this bike. So it's unfortunate, but this can't go on. I'm going to close it back up and send it back. So let's get to fixing this. Guys, everything is completely secured over here. Tail light is fully mounted. I'm going ahead and close this all up once and for all and move on to the next agenda for the day. Lots of progress has been made on the ZX10R. I'm loving the way this is coming. Over here, as you can see, everything is put together back here. Really good. Inside is clean. Obviously, we did that before. Coming back over here, we're gonna get to cleaning the chain and everything that's in that area right now. As you can see, it's quite filthy. So my goal is to clean out everything as much as possible. Nice and spanking clean. And then hopefully we can get some more parts in and throw it on this bad boy. Okay, she cleaned up really good. As you can see, there's something about having a really clean bike. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. She turned out really good. Obviously, there's some scratches and dents in it. That's not a problem. She's gonna get a nice paint job as soon as I can. Obviously, it's quite cold right now. When the weather gets better, she's gonna get a fresh coat of paint on this rig, on the frame, everywhere I can possibly touch it up to make it as good as possible. bike is ready to get some paint. I've prepped the swing arms, ready to lay down some good coat of paint. I use trim black. I've used this on most of my previous builds. It turns out really good. You can use any reducer you want. I'm using Perfect Coats. It's a German product. Good stuff. This stuff really works well. It gives you that nice OEM finish. I've used it countless times. So if you're gonna do this, I advise you should get something like this. Not sponsored, it's just good old knowledge training out there. So without much more talking, we're gonna go lay down some paint on this bike and see how it turns out. Because it is -5 right now and it's quite cold. You should be painting in +25, +20 at the very least. So let's weigh this paint and see what happens. Alright guys, I have the first coat of paint down. It's looking really good. I'm gonna lay 2 more coats down, wet on wet, back to back, and let it dry because I have the heater right next to it, and see how this baby turns out. Guys, you just saw me unbox the subframe that arrived. This is what it looks like. I'm a little bit upset because when I purchased it, it was supposed to be 10 out of 10 condition. Perfect, no scratches. Obviously, as you can tell, that is not the situation. There's a bunch of scratches. There was almost no packaging in this. It was just in this cardboard thing. Not secured, it was just rattling in there. And look at this huge damage. This was not in there. I'm gonna put up a picture of what it looked like from when I bought it. It did not have this damage, so I believe he sent me another rear peg instead of what I had purchased. I'm going to be contacting the seller and figuring out something about that. But since I have the paint gone out and all of this out, I might as well just sand it all down, give it a nice coat of paint because I do have some leftover paint, and get it on the bike. It is frustrating sometimes dealing with some sellers purchasing things and then it arrives in a condition that it shouldn't be, but that's just the way it goes. I'm not gonna let that stop me tonight. We're gonna get some paint down on this subframe, make it look as good as possible, and then slap it on the bike. Alright guys, I just laid down the third and final coat for the swing arm and it's looking excellent. There's no flaws whatsoever and I'm liking the way everything is laying down. Very nice, very smooth, good finish. Super excited about that. The next thing I'm gonna do is move on to the subframes that arrived damaged. Try to fix it up as best as possible. Lay a couple coats of paint and see how that turns out. lots of progress have been made. Both swing arms on the motorcycle is painted. It looks fantastic, no problem. The rear subframe is being painted. Second coat on, it's just drying up for the third coat. Right now I'm going to go ahead and prep the main frame to receive some paint. I'm going to tip it all up because that usually takes a while, longer than you actually think. So I'm going to go ahead and prep that up completely, get it ready for some paint, and then tomorrow we're going to throw some paint on the frame. So let's get right to it and then come back on this and throw the final coat.
A few moments later.
This bad boy is the Oxford heated grips. I've been waiting for this for a little bit. Obviously, if you watched the previous video, you would have seen that I tried to install the cheaper ones. That didn't work out so good, so I decided to spend that extra couple $100. Spend the extra dollars and get the proper one. So I hope this does work good. I mean, better because it costs like 5 times more than the other one did. And so it better work 5 times better. That's all I gotta say, because she was a pricey son of a gun. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and install the front brake reservoir that did get delivered. So I'm gonna throw that on real quick and we'll see what else I can put on. The Oxford heated grips on, super quality. I gotta tell you guys, 10 times, 100 times better than the cheap Chinese stuff I tried throwing on. So I'm gonna wire this up real quick, guys, and try this baby out. Alright guys, everything is a success over here. The heated grips are working fantastic. It's super hot. I love it. So that's good. I installed the RAM phone mounts just because since I'm in here, it is installed. Really good. And then we're gonna move on to something else. Okay guys, I've heated the frame and I'm gonna lay down some paint real quick. But now the bike's been painted. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. I've let it sit out here for a little bit with the heater just alternating around it, trying to keep all the panels nice and warm so the paint can cure properly. Luckily, everything is looking really good. Let me show you to you guys. Alright guys, it's time to throw on the newly painted subframes. It looks excellent. Let's throw it on the bike. Alright guys, you guys gotta hear from me. I'm so pissed right now. I installed this rear subframe and for the life of me, it's not lining up. Well, all the bolts are inserted, everything is fully locked in place. I'm gonna flip the camera around, I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. It doesn't look good, like it doesn't look level. The problem is I don't remember if it was this way before I took the whole subframe apart or if this is a new issue with the new subframe I received. I tried to do a whole bunch of adjustment and try to play around with it, nothing. It's just leaning to one side for some weird reason. So this is it. This is how it's sitting. It's not sitting level at all by any means. Like, I'm just so frustrated. This painted all of this. I didn't even think to check it because why would I? Out of the part, it should be good. But everything is locked in place. This is the newly painted subframe. Everything is all good, but it doesn't look good. So I need to do some research, see if this is the way it should be. I don't think it doesn't make any sense for it to be this way. I'm not sure. I need to see what I can see, figure something out, and just go from there. So while the battery is charging, I'm going to throw on the next parts on the bike. Let's do it. Alright guys, as mentioned earlier, the subframe I ordered was bad from the beginning. Painted it, spent a whole lot of time on it, but it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about that. I did contact the seller. We did come to a conclusion or a good resolution, and I'm happy with that. That's all bygones. I did order a new set of subframes. I did receive that. I have painted that. I saved you guys the trouble of watching that all over again because it's pretty much the same thing I did in the previous video. Right now, I'm gonna go ahead and throw out the new subframes, line it all up, and completely button up this rear end. As you can see, it's all torn apart. I did record most of this footage, but unfortunately my SD card got corrupted, so I picked up a new one. Nothing I can do about that, but without much more talking, I'm gonna go ahead and put this rear end back together one more time, and hopefully the last time, and move on to something more exciting. It's about time. Come on, let's go. Alright guys, as you can see, the rear frame is completely assembled once again. Hopefully it's going to be the very last time that this has to come off or go on. Everything is butted up in the rear end. As you can see, I completely put all of this back together. That's all looking good. Over here, I'm going to start throwing on some little parts that has arrived and see how much we can get done tonight. Okay, now I have swapped over the required parts to install the coolant reservoir. So I'm going to go ahead and mount that on the bike. Alright guys, the coolant reservoir is mounted up over here. I just put some black tape to secure this adhesive or abrasion pad, whatever you're gonna call it, in place, because obviously the glue will let go. So I just secure that in place. It looks good to me. I'm not really concerned. That's gonna get covered by the fairings anyway. I just wanted to leave it back on there just in case it does protect it from, you know, shaving or rubbing with the fairing, whatever that case may be. So that's on, and now we're gonna throw on something else real quick. Guys, as you just saw, I just installed the Oxford heated controller or the module, whatever you want to call it. It's secured in place, really like it's super clean install. I used the bracket that was provided in the kits, mounted it in there, routed the wire. I followed the exact path that the factory harness comes in, so I went through this way, right into here, underneath here. I routed it in here, followed the factory harness again, and secured it to the battery. So it's a very clean install, super happy about that. The next install is going to be some levers. I picked up some really nice levers that I actually like. I like the design on them, so that's why I got it. I'm going to install this and get rid of this stabby little thing over here. Alright guys, well I did it again. I saw an opportunity to clean this all up while I had the tires out and I took advantage of it. Now it's clean, I'm happy. Now let's throw on the first mod for today. quick, let's talk about this chain adjuster. I really love it. It's very sleek design. The thing I fancy the most about it is that it's fully adjustable. So this is to lock it in place. So say you find your desired position, use this and lock it in place. This won't move anymore. If you want to adjust this, you let this out, put a wrench on here, and you can adjust it. Look at that, you have a lot of adjustability with this. I really like the design. Wasn't very expensive, super happy with it, and I have it on both sides now.
A few moments later.
Alright guys, it's a new day in the garage. Today my goal is to remove the ram air intake, perform the repairs that are required to make sure this is 100%. If you do recall, in my first and my second video, I pointed out that this ram air intake had some slight cracking from the accident. We're going to repair that. We're also going to do the flapper delete. It's a very common mod on the ZX10R. There is a flapper in here that fluctuates how much air is coming in. We're going to delete that socket. We don't need it. We want as much airflow going into this bike as possible. We're going to delete that, repair this, make sure it's structurally 100%, and then throw it back on the bike. Alright guys, we're in here because it's super cold outside and we can't get any of this work done outside. So I figured now is a good time to get this done while we're inside. So the first thing I'm going to do is work on this ram air intake. If you do recall from the first video, I did point out that it was cracked over here. I did remove from the vehicle, and as you can see, yeah. So we're going to fix that up. We're going to make sure it's structurally sound and it's not going to cause any problem for us in the future. So without much more talking, you know what we're gonna do. We're gonna jump right into this. Just like that, this is all taken apart. This is the piece I want to delete over here. This is the valve that controls it. It's air controlled, so this would go in like this and it should pull it up, and it pretty much fluctuates how much air or controls how much air gets into the airbox. We don't need this, so we're going to delete this. Right now we're going to go ahead and start repairing this broken area over here and make sure it's structurally sound. Okay, right now it's all repaired, as you can see. This plastic welding gun is pretty good because it pretty much welds the metals to the plastic by means of melting that plastic a little bit. This metal sinks in and then it cools down and pretty much freezes in place. Very solid. As you can see, that is not moving. I also did find another hairline crack in here, so I went ahead and repaired it. Next thing I'm going to do is apply a thin coat of seam sealer. This is used in the automotive industry to completely seal panels off after they've been riveted to prevent water intrusion and all of that. Obviously this is an air intake, it's going to be water coming in, but it's just for good luck. And now we're gonna assemble it. Just like that, it's fully assembled. As you can see, no movement. That is solid. Super happy about that. And just like I mentioned in the previous video that the rib nuts were pulled out of this. This is the rib nuts right here that secure the mirror in place. So right now what I'm gonna do is remove it, try to get it seated in there, and throw on some JB welds. Alright guys, as you can see, the headlight is fully repaired and it's structurally sound. Do you see that? I'm pushing on it. No movement. It's flexing like it should. Super solid. I am 100% confident in the structural integrity of this headlight. Same thing over here. Perfect. Alright guys, and just like that, this headlight is repaired. Same applies to the fairing stay, the ram intake, all that is good. I know some people are going to be wondering why not just throw a new part on it, but what's the point in that? Where's the fun in that? It's a rebuild. You're supposed to be able to salvage the parts you can, make it work one way or another, and that's what I'm doing. It's what I always do. So I'm very confident in the repair that I've done today, and that works for me. Alrighty guys, I just got a call. One of the most anticipated parts is now in, so let's go pick it up. Alright guys, new day. It is cold as hell, but we're gonna go pick up something super exciting for this bike. I just seen it, I had to buy it. Let's go get it. Alright guys, I just picked up this amazing wheels. I really love the design. It's very similar. It's pretty much the same thing with the design on the ZX-10R. I don't know if you can tell. Same wheels. I really like the design way better than the wheels that the ZX-10R came in. Problem is, upon picking it up, I took my axle and it won't fit. The axle in this one is much smaller than the ZX-10R, and these wheels came off 2021 Ninja 1000 SX. So I was hoping to be the same thing, but as you can see, it's not. So it's a bummer because I was hoping to throw these wheels on the ZX10R. It's way more sicker than the 3-spoke wheels that came with the bike. If anyone has any ideas to make this work, please let me know. That would be awesome if I can get this working on the ZX10R, because as you can see, well, you can't see much. It's only 3 spokes. Not very good looking. And the bike only had about 3,000 kilometers, so these tires are still mint. Lots of life on them, as you can see. So I'm going to be throwing the tires on the bike for sure. The S22 is a great tire, super nice. But if anyone has any brilliant ideas to make this work, let me know. Drop a comment down below, because I would really love to have these wheels on the bike instead of the stock wheels that came with the ZX10R. This chain adjuster is fully installed. I'm going to go ahead and throw in the axle and see what it looks like. It is unfortunate that we can't throw on this new wheels I just picked up because the axle is different. It's really a slap in the face because I was super excited to have those new rims on this, but it is what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and clear out this axle a little bit, because if you recall, I had a difficult time getting it out of the wheel. Looks like there's a little bit of corrosion on it somewhere, so I'm gonna clean it up as good as possible. And then we can throw the wheel back on at a later time. Drop it down low in the comments, let me know what you think is in this box, and I'll let you know if you're correct in the next video. But that's gonna pretty much be obvious. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment down below, and be sure to subscribe. Previous video we fitted a gold chain adjusters on this bike and it looks phenomenal. It's gonna go very well with the plans I have for this bike. We also picked up a new set of wheels. Unfortunately that did not go on, or it's not plug and play, but it is what it is. I did hit up the guy I bought it from and he was able to provide me with the front and rear axles at no cost, so that's super excellent. Appreciate it. Adrian, if you're watching, thank you bro, I appreciate it. But today's goal is to try to figure out how to make this work and throw on some other parts on this bike. Alright guys, you seen that right? The temperature today is -1. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna throw some paint. Let's do it. I picked up this paint powder online. It's supposed to be really good for painting. It protects from overspray. Never used it before. Let's set it up and see how it works. Hey guys, the tank is out here. The tanks or the paint shower is fully set up. I did hook up this heater just to be on the safe side and make sure this paint cures properly. Now, before we can do any painting, we need to prep the tank. All of this needs to come off. The dent over here, like I mentioned in my previous videos, needs to be fixed. We have a lot of work, guys. Without much more talking, we need to get down to this and start cleaning this up and get it ready for some paint. Alright guys, as you can see, the tank is ready to receive some paint. That took a whole lot longer than I wanted it to, but it is what it is. I should have prepped this before painting it, but that's how it goes. So now we're going to throw some paint down and see how this baby turns out. Alright guys, as you can see, my Make 2 paint booth is all set up. I already went ahead and hit the bottom with some primer. So that's all primered up. I'm gonna hit the top with some primer right now, and then we're gonna lay some paint on this puppy. So let's get to it. Alright guys, super excited. Lots of progress has been made. Over here where the paint booth or the paint shredder is, the tank is fully primed in. Well, it is a primer sealer. It's a 2K primer sealer. Laid down super good. Zero flaws, just a little bit of pinholes like I need to fill out. Nothing crazy. There's one over here. Just little things like that, which is expected with painting in the cold, you know, not mad about it. So I'm gonna fix all of that up real quick and then we can lay some paint on this bad boy. Alright guys, another day back in the garage. Right now I'm working on test fitting the headlight that I prepared. Obviously some parts were missing when I picked up this bike. For example, the other side, on the right side, the LED module for the headlight was completely missing. So now I'm trying to figure out how to make the other headlight work without the module for the other side. So quickly, this is what I'm talking about. As you can see, the headlight on this side is working, but there's nothing on this side. And that's because it's completely ripped out over here. If you go over to the other side, it has the complete wiring. There's supposed to be individual LED modules for each light, and this is what it looks like, and it's completely missing on the other side. So my goal is to somehow jump the wires from that one into this one and connect both of them to this LED module and see if it works. So without much more talking, let's get to it and see if we can make something happen today. Unfortunately, that did not work out, but I have something else in mind. Let's try it out. Okay guys, I have both lights hooked up right now, and when I turn it on, that one works now, but this one stay on at the same time. So it just alternates between each other. It's very weird. So it looks like I need to get a new module for sure, which is unfortunate. But yeah, this stays on, and that doesn't stay on. It just goes back and forth. Guys, we just bled the brakes in the front. Super good, as you can see. It does hold pressure now. That is excellent. Very happy about that. We have some brand new brake fluid in there, some Moto.4, really good stuff. That's all good. We're gonna go over to the rear and do the same thing. Alright guys, we've made some decent progress on the bike so far. The front brakes are bled, the rear brakes are bled. They both function the way they should. So I'm super excited about that because this brake was non-existent. So it's working now. I'm super happy about that. The next one we're going to be looking at is these wheels. I brought this into the house. I washed it up nice and good. Don't ask me where I washed it. Just don't tell my wife. Super clean. Love the design on this wheel. Love it, love it. That's the other one over there. Super clean. And this is the other unit over here. As you can see, it's the 3-spoke design I'm trying to get rid of. Don't really fancy it. And over here is the nice one. So now I'm gonna try to fit this wheel on the bike. This is the wheel for the S1000 or the Ninja 1000 SX. Gonna try to fit this on the bike and see how it works, and see if we need to swap any parts over from this to make this work. Okay guys, the first problem I've run into right now, the brake rotors will not clear the caliper, so it looks like the brakes on the rotors on the Ninja 1000 SX is bigger than the rotors on the ZX10R. It makes no sense why that would be the case, considering the ZX10R makes more power than the Ninja 1000 SX. I'm going to put this side by side and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So this is what I'm talking about right here. As you can see, the rotors on the Ninja 1000 SX, which I'm going to start calling SX just to keep this short and simple, is quite bigger than the ZX10R. So that's one, that's the other. Quite different. So let's swap this over real quick and throw it on the bike. And just like that, guys, we have another problem. As you can see, this is the rotors from the ZX10R. It won't fit in there, it won't go in there. Look at how much difference. It won't sit in place. This is some super bad news, guys. So it looks like this would require way more modification than I would like to do to a braking system on a bike. But yeah, that's not gonna work. You need to either file all of this down, and the bolts are not even gonna line up at the end of the day. So you need to be drilling into rotors and so many. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like this is gonna work. Super sad about that, but it is what it is. What's up guys, it's another day in the garage, and I gotta tell you, I'm super excited for the package I just received. I ordered this, I really like the way it looked. I'm not sure if it's gonna sound good or how it's gonna look in real life, but let's open it up and see what it looks like. This looks sick. Okay, this looks excellent. The welds on it are pristine. Look at this, guys. Beautiful, beautiful welds. I'm super impressed with the quality of this for the price I paid. I know you guys are gonna be thinking if this is the real Austin Racing. No, it's not. At least I don't think so, but I got a super wicked deal on it, and I figured why not? I'm not trying to be like everyone else, throwing Akrapovic and whatnot. I wanted something I liked, and I love this, and boy, am I super impressed with it. Love it, love it, love it. I can't wait to hear what this is gonna sound like on the bike. Let's completely set it up and install it on the ZX10R. As you can see, that's not going on. It's pretty much the same diameter as the stock headers. This is insane. This is new exhaust I just picked up. This is what happens when you get a cheap stuff. So you need to be prepared to do some modification to make it work. But it's pretty much bang on. It's the same diameter as the stock headers, as you can see. So I gotta think of something to make this work, because obviously I gotta make it work, and throw this beauty on the ZX10R.
A few moments later.
New day in the garage. After the problem installing or trying to install the exhaust mid pipe, I picked up this little body over here. It's a pipe expander. A quick Google search and I found it. We're gonna try to install this on the mid pipe, try to expand it and see if it actually works. Let's get to it.
You know who made it.
Okay guys, as you can see, the exhaust is on and it looks fantastic. Oh my god, I couldn't possibly describe to you how good this looks. It looks even better than the stock header. I feel like this was not burnt in properly. I wish I could make it kind of match, but this looks ridiculous. Oh my god, super happy about that. For the price I paid, very content. I had to do a little bit of modification on the mid pipe or the link pipe to make it work. I'm not even mad because I paid very reasonable price for this, but it looks excellent. Obviously, I know it's nothing compared to the original one with the original unit, but I'm not really worried about it. It's also sound. I'm not going for 210 horsepower. I also don't care about that. So I'm very happy. It looks great. Fitment is on point. Couldn't be happier.
You know who made it.
Alright guys, the tank is in the paint booth. You won't believe the time I've had. I've painted this tank 4 times in the last week trying to knock out this paint job, and every single time that I made this paint job, there was some kind of issue and I had to sand, prep, the whole shebang. Trying to get it all done, it was a pain, believe me. I'm done painting for the next 100 years. But right now the tank is looking good. I'm ready to throw some base coat or some top coat, which is a clear coat, because I've had 2 coats of primer, 3 coats of base. It's looking good. Not enough problems for me to be worried about it anymore, so I'm going to throw some clear. Hopefully it turns out good. So let's get to it, and hopefully this is the last paint job for this bike.
You know who made it.
Comments down below on what you thought was in this box. If you said fairings, you were right. We got our fairings in. Let's show this puppy now. The fairing kit for the motorcycle. The ZX10R. I confirmed this with the manufacturer before they shipped it out. I specifically said what I was looking for, and they sent me this. That is not R, that is RR. So, I don't know. previous video, we painted the gas tank. That's where we ended. Right now, it's looking good. It's ready to go back on the motorcycle. I completely assembled it already, as you can see. We have some more parts in. They just arrived. Without much more talking, let's get wrenching, throwing everything back on this bike and getting one step closer to being completed. Now we have some gas in the tank, we have everything set up. Let's start this puppy up and see what she sounds like. It's been a minute since we started this up, and today it's over -20, so it's a really cold day, but let's just see what happens. The beast is awakened. She sounds good. Super loud. I don't know if this mic is gonna pick it up, but it's super loud. It sounds super good. It is not running the greatest. Obviously, it's a cold start. The weather is bloody cold. I feel like it needs to warm up, you know, find its tune or whatever. Probably gonna tune this bike for sure. But over here, as you can see, we have a coolant leak. I believe it's from this hose over here, because the reservoir is obviously new. We replaced with a brand new unit. So I believe it's coming from somewhere around this area. So I need to open this up and figure out what's going on in there. But right now, we're gonna go ahead and secure the battery leads completely, because this is not gonna come off anymore. We're gonna throw the charger on it and let it charge. And then we can start assembling some pieces up over here. Alright guys, the bike is sounding very good, really love it. I installed the battery one more time, she's in place. Now let's start throwing some fairings on this bike. It's about time. Okay, Kawasaki, what's up? Who designed this? You put the fairings in, there's a little tiny clip that needs to go in over here, so you need to take out the batteries and everything. Right in there. That's it right there. That's the worst design ever, come on. Okay, that took way too long, but now it's all in. Let's tie this down completely, do the same thing on this side, and we can throw the batteries back in once and for all. The side fairings goes first. Let's get this fixed. repairs to one of the brackets that's needed to mount the top fairing for the tank. So while that's curing, let's go ahead and install some of the other parts I received for this bike and get it looking good. So look at this. You see what's going over here? New fairing, stock fairing, new fairing, stock fairing. What is all this? 1, 2, not there. This, not there. I don't know why they did that, but I need to remove that so it can sit on the bike properly. Let's do that. Alright guys, the bike is coming along very good. As you can see, the tail section is completely put back together and it looks great. Zero concerns over there. I'm gonna go ahead and completely button up this end and get back to you guys. Alright guys, as you can see, this tail section is looking good. Everything came back together really nice. Super excited about that. I have no worries really, everything is looking really good. If you do like this video, make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment down below. It does help the channel. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. Damn, this front end is looking sick. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to keep working on the ZX10R. It's looking minty, obviously, as you can tell. Half of the fairings, or almost half of the fairings, are almost on, and oh my gosh, I'm falling in love with this bike by the second. So it's looking good, super happy about that. Without much more talking, let's get down to business and get some more work done today and see how far we can get on this bike and see what the outcome is going to be. As you can see, both headlights now work. This is the replacement LED bulbs I picked up. Really good stuff. I really like that it's white and it's bright and it's LEDs. Super happy about that. So now this can get installed finally without being worried about it. But obviously, as you can see, there's lots of scratches on this. I'm going to attempt to sand it and see if I can get those scratches out and then polish it. Alright guys, in this box I picked up some engine crash covers for this bike just because it only made sense to throw on some of these. Guys, you just see me unbox the GB Racing engine covers. I usually like throwing this on any bike I own just because it's easier and it's cheaper to replace this than having to replace the engine covers or the stator covers, or to even sand and paint it like I did. It takes less work to just order this online and have it installed. It's way better. I'm not going to be throwing this on just yet because I do want to have them painted just to throw a little bit of spice to this bike. I'm going to remove all the plastic bits, so like the chain cover, the rear fender, the chain guard, all that good stuff. I'm going to remove all of that off the bike, prep it because that usually takes a whole lot longer than you think, and then throw some paint down on this because I want it to look good. Let's get down to business. Get it done. And the wheel is out, as you can see, looking good. Over here I have the calipers held up with some zip ties. You never want to leave the calipers hanging on the brake lines. That's a recipe for disaster. So that's out, but upon taking it out, as you can see, we have more problems. The fork seals are done on this bike, both front ones. As you can see, there's lots of residue over there, and the same thing on the other side. So that's going to need to be taken care of very soon. Moving on to the back of this bike, we're going to begin doing the same thing. We're going to remove the rear wheel, bring it inside, get it all prepped, and we're going to throw some paint sometime soon. Alright guys, there you have it. Both wheels are off. And here we have it. This is a trim piece for the ZX10R. As you can see, it has that textured finish you'd get like from a car molding or a rear bumper or something like that. I don't like it, so I'm going to be painting it and making it look good. Alright guys, as you can see, everything is prepped and ready to receive some primer, then paint and all that good stuff. Everything is sanded, taped up, it's cleaned. So without much more talking, let's get down to business and make this thing look brand new. Alright guys, it's been a couple days since I set all of this up. I was just too sick to do anything, but today I'm gonna throw some paints down. Everything is assembled, clean, prepped, sanded, all that good stuff is done. It's all gonna be time lapse. I'm not looking to talk too much because I don't have a lot of energy. It's all gonna be on time lapse. And let's get down to business and start throwing some paints.
feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be working on the ZX10R.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna keep working on the ZX10R. Lots of progress has been made, obviously.
I know she looks a little bit rough, but she's getting there.
The wheels have been painted, as you've seen in the last video, and they turned out great. Zero complaints whatsoever. We're just waiting on the new tires to come back in so we can throw it on this bad boy.
I painted all these plastic pieces in the previous video. As you can tell, they're now installed. To be sincere, it's a 50-50 for me. I hope it would have turned out better and like kind of look good, but I'm not 100% convinced it is. So you guys let me know in the comment what you think. This was painted. Obviously, all of this was painted. And this was painted too. All of this was painted. They do have a textured finish. I was not really trying to get rid of that because that would take lots of sanding to do. And obviously, I was just not down to do that. So it is installed.
As the bike sits, I have everything needed to completely put the front end back together, but I couldn't help myself, so I had to go cost myself more headache. This is what I'm talking about.
I love the ZX10R, especially the 5th gen. But I gotta tell you, the dash on this thing is hideous. It looks like an old school Casio calculator. That's what it reminds me of. Compared to the ZX6, the dash on the ZX6R looks way better compared to the ZX10R. Yeah, I don't fancy that much.
So now you see my dilemma, and I had to fix that because the ZX10R stock dash does not look good by any means necessary. And when you look online for options or upgrades for ZX10R dash, they are bloody expensive. So I had to figure out an alternative. I found this online and I decided to purchase it and see if I could make something work. So it's a universal motorcycle dash, nothing fancy. I think it was derived from one of the BMWs or Ducatis, I'm not sure. But this is what it looks like.
Alright guys, there you have it. That's the dash, that's the big secret. It looks good. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to figure this out. Definitely not going to be done in this video. But just so you guys know, this is what I'm going to be working on behind the scene. And if I'm able to make it work, I'll be making a video about it. Alright guys, now we're going to be replacing the switch. As you can see, the stock one is in really rough shape. So this new replacement one should look much better. Let's get down to work. So this is what's going on over here right now. I'm trying to swap out the switch that was really damaged over here. The problem is that the wiring harness, I just found out, goes all the way underneath here. So the tank, airbox, all of that has to come out. Not really looking forward to doing that. So alternative plan was to swap out the casing, just the plastic pieces. But then the problem is that the stock one won't go in the new one. So I would have to splice in the new one's harness into the stock one to make it work. So that's the plan right now. Hopefully that works. I mean, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't, but let's get down to business and see if we can make it work. Just like that, everything is loosely connected. Let's try it out. So that's good. Nothing. I think that's a good sign. It's working. So let's button all of this up and close it up.
What's up guys, it's another day in the garage. Look at these wheels guys, it turned out great.
Really love how it came out. There's absolutely no flaws with the paint job on these wheels. Phenomenal. And it matches the gold because I took the piece and I had it scanned and I came out with a perfect match. Super happy about that. That is ready to get thrown on the bike, but we're waiting on the new tires. Unfortunately, that's not yet in. So in the meantime, we're gonna prep these tires the way I like to do it to make this easy. Alright guys, the idea of this is to heat the tires up so it can make the tire removal and install very easy. So you put it in the box, seal it all up. I'm gonna put a heat gun right there and just heat it up for about half an hour, give or take, and then begin the tire removal.
As to why that's baking in there, we have some packages over here. We're gonna unbox it, set it up, and get it ready.
You know who made it.
just like that, this tire changer, big breaker, whole shenanigan is all set up. Took a little bit longer than expected because I was trying to make sure everything lined up perfectly. So that's good. The rear stands are actually really good for the price I paid. I thought it was going to be shitty, but it's actually really solid. Even better than what I currently have on my bike. So that's super good. So we have some more parts in. Super excited about this because some of this is going to be awesome. Let's open this up and see what we have in here. These are not very awesome, but we do need it to complete the tire change, so okay guys, so this is a tire balancer kit. It pretty much has everything you need to balance the tire after you install it. So let's set it up. That way we can be ready to balance those tires when we put them on. Alright guys, it's like Christmas up in here. Everything is just coming in front, left, center. Tires are now in, super excited about that. So we have everything we need to completely mount these tires, balance them and trim on the motorcycle. Let's get to it. After all the packages that came in today, I think I'm almost broke. Like I said earlier, the tire changer and bead breaker, that's all set up. This is the tire spoons that just got delivered. I had my wife pick up this noodle so I can wrap it up here to protect the tires from getting damaged because those are just newly painted and I don't want any scuffs on it. So I'm gonna cut this all up in here, mount it all around there, tape it, secure it, make sure it protects the tires. The wheel balancer is all set up. I like that it has this little leveling thing up over here, that's good. Tires are in the box over there, super happy about that. But the best package of all is in here. You guys drop your guesses right now what you think is in this box. No cheating, just drop your guesses. I'm gonna open it. All right guys, I'm super excited to open this because I know what's in here, but you guys don't, so let's see. Wow, every time I open this I just get happy. I just get super happy. I don't know why. I mean, I know why, but I just get happy. Don't matter. You can obviously tell it's a helmet because it says X-Lite on it, but it is the sickest helmet I own till date. And this was purchased by my wife for my birthday, so super happy about that. Thanks, babe. I love you. Super happy. Super happy. Oh my. Oh. What? Damn, son. Every time I look at this, it puts a smile on my face. I couldn't tell you. Super sick. Love it. Oh man, and it's so light. I think it's even lighter than my LS2. Love it. Without any doubt in my mind, this is the sickest helmet ever. Look at this full carbon, the tinted shield, everything looks beautiful, pristine, super good quality. You guys let me know down in the comments if you want me to make a review about this compared to my LS2 Challenger Carbon, because those are two carbon helmets. And I also have the SMK carbon helmet too, so you guys let me know if you want to see a review. I will try to make a good video about reviewing all of them side by side, telling you guys what I like and what I do not like about all of them.
feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you come.
Alright guys, as you just seen, I installed the rear wheels. Everything back there is completely taken care of. Over here in the front, if you do recall, we did have some leaking forks. I did order a tool online that is apparently really good for fixing stuff like this. That tool is not in yet, unfortunately. It should be delivered tomorrow. So in the meantime, I just cleaned out as much oil residue as I could find. Cleaned out the lower seals over here. And when that tool comes in, I'm going to try to use it to clean the ones on the inside. In the meantime, I'm going to throw the wheels on and get this baby on its 2 feet. This video we're gonna dive right back into the ZX10R where we left up with the leaky seals on the forks. I ordered this tool online, not sponsored or anything, the quick Google search, and I found really good reviews about it. So I'm gonna try it out for myself, see if it actually works. Because I did clean out the seals and they are still leaking, so that doesn't help me much. I'm gonna try it out this bad boy. If it works, good. If it doesn't, then we're gonna have a big job on our hands. So let's get right to it. I'll be damned, guys. It actually works. Look at that. No oil leaking. Nothing over here. Amazing. That's a win in my books for a tool or for a plastic tool that costs under $15 Canadian. Save yourself a whole lot of money instead of changing fork seals and all that. Try this out. It worked for me in my situation. There's no oil leaks. I'm super happy about that. I'm gonna have a link in the description for this to my Amazon store. If you guys are looking to purchase anything, try that out. It helps the channel. It doesn't cost you any more than it usually would, so try it out. A link to my Amazon store will be in the description for any purchase. Alright, so now we're gonna completely button up everything up front here because we're done in this area and move on to something else. What's up, guys? It's now spring in Canada, but there's still a lot of snow outside, so I don't think we're going to be able to hit the road just yet. But let us get this baby ready. I did miss a couple of things in the rear end, so I've opened that up. Let's get down to business. So as you can see, I opened the rear end back up again because I forgot to install the license plate mount and light and all that good stuff. So that has to go on, and then we can put the front end together. Alright guys, as you can see, I did not waste any time jumping on this bike. I started with a front nose fairing that's fully mounted once and for all. I just did not put this bolt on here for the mirrors just yet because that's still coming in. And as you can see, on this side, everything seems to go on. But over here, everything is fully secured. Remember the problem I had receiving the ZX10R fairings instead of the R? As you can see, I tried to remove the one R and I kind of ruined the fairing a little bit. It's not going to come out without leaving some kind of damage to it. So I guess I'm just going to have to roll with it this way and be a fraud. It is what it is. I did hit up the seller I purchased this from. We were able to come to a conclusion that I'm happy with. So no hard feelings.
But let's jump back onto this bike and get some more work. As you can see, everything on this side is put together and she looks beautiful. There is no concern. I'm super happy with the way the bike is turning out. Everything is flowing together, the gold and the satin black with a little bit of gloss back there. Still needs to be sanded and polished to give it a little bit nice sheen to it. But everything is looking good. Super happy about that. So let's go to the other side of the motorcycle and completely assemble it all together and see how she turns out.
Alright guys, as you can see, the bike is completely put back together like nothing ever happened. That's looking really good. I did order one more part for this motorcycle. It's going to be going right in the front end of this, and it's going to make this look excellent. So let's throw this part on and see how she turns out.
No.
What's up, guys? We're out here. We have the bike loaded on the vehicle. We're gonna go get it inspected. I don't see any reason why I shouldn't pass. Everything was done to specs, so it's looking really good. So without much more talking, let's hop in the vehicle, get out there, and get this done. What's up, guys? Just a quick update on the ZX10R. As you can see, it's loaded on the back. We just completed the last safety inspection to get this back on the road. Super excited about it. Obviously, she's looking good. She's ready to rip. I can't wait to give this a wash. It hasn't been ridden yet. All the dirt on it is just from hauling it around on the rack, as you can see. So we're gonna get it home, give it a proper wash, and go for our first ride. Enjoy this video. Make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the build so far. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hey guys, unfortunately it is true, I did drop the ZX10R. I'm super excited about it, but it is what it is. Wasn't expecting that to happen. Obviously, I just recently put this bike together. I was super excited to ride it. I took it out and doing the speed limit, and I happened to hit a pothole out of nowhere, and the rest is history. So she's a little banged up, as you can see. I'm not excited about it again, like I said, but we're gonna get to work. Obviously, we're gonna fix it back up and even make it better. Alright guys, now the bike is fully cleaned up. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the tank fairings and the tank, get it set aside, and get to completely disassembling this bike once again. Hopefully it's gonna turn out different this time. Okay guys, you know what they say, every disappointment is an appointment. So since I laid this bike down, it's giving me an opportunity to change certain things that I would like to change about the motorcycle. For starters, over here where I have the heated grip installed, it is good, that is the way it should be, but I would like to relocate it to the top tree over here, give it more of a nice cleaner look. So that's going to be one of the things I'm going to be getting done today. Secondly, the start stop switch over here, I kind of ruined it on the first install, so that's going to get fixed for sure. So let's dive right into it and get some things done. it's shifting the whole fairing. We got her out, boys. We got her out. Damn, that was a pain. That took way longer than I expected it to take. Way longer. I was trying to take it out without look at that. Look at that. Thankfully, we got the culprit out. This took way longer than I thought it was gonna. So that's good. Now we can get the entire fairings out and hopefully start getting some more work done because we are far from done. Alright guys, so what we have here is the replacement switch I ordered off eBay. It's a used cert. I already opened it all up and it looks good. So we're gonna go ahead and toss this bad boy on the vehicle, on the bike. It's a nice replacement OEM set from a 2020. So let's do it. And just like that, we have the airbox out. That was no easy task, I gotta tell you, but it is out. As you can see, everything is good over there. The airbox is chilling. Now, this is a lot of work just to replace this harness over here. This is where Kawasaki put it. That's the harness I need to replace to change out this ignition. Okay, I'm gonna place you guys on a time lapse. Let's get this done and close this bad boy up because she's looking quite naked right now. Man, oh man, as you can see, that was a pain. There was almost no room to work with over there. But finally, that switch is installed. Obviously, if you do know, we have had bad luck in the past ordering parts from eBay. So before I think about closing anything up here, we gotta test that switch out. Make sure everything works the way you should. Then we can button stuff up. So let's do that. First things first. It does work, so that's excellent. That's all we need. We're gonna shut this off. Boy, just look at this angle you have to get in to completely tie those fasteners in. It's crazy. There's no space, they give you no space to work with. I use this Milwaukee ratchet, very useful tool. I think it's one of my most used tools, power tools I can think of. And again, I have this swivel attachment. I made mention of this in one of my previous videos. Super useful tool. It's, you know, it swivels both ways. That's literally the only way to get in there and fasten those fasteners over there. Alright guys, really quickly, I just got a whole lot of work done over here. You can see the clutch lever is not fully installed, really clean install. I love the way it is. I relocated the heated grips controller to right on the 333. I make use of the threaded nut or threaded hole over there. Super clean install. I believe I like it this way. It's right up on the 333. Very accessible, as you can see. So that's really good. Not affecting the steering stabilizer in any way. Lots of clearance on all sides. I just need to cut off this zip tie and that's a done deal. Alright guys, as you can see, all the fairings are off the bike right now. It's back to looking naked, unfortunately. But that's going to be a good thing because now we're going to jump to painting. We want this to turn out really good. So I'm going to take my time to try to get a perfect job. Or as perfect as possible considering the circumstances. Alright guys, as you can see, the parts that we have laid out here are the parts that don't have decals on them. So these are going to get paints first because the parts over here do have decals on them. And I'm currently waiting for those to come in. The paint scheme is going to be the same, just a different shade of black with way more metallics and the same color of gold. So those decals need to come in, unfortunately. Still waiting on those. But in the meantime, all the parts like this ones with no gold decals on them can get paint. Gonna jump back on the ZX10R. You know exactly what will happen. We're gonna fix it up, get it right back to OEM, or even better actually if you ask me. Get it back on the road in no time. That is the goal for today because she's been sitting for way too long and then the accident happened again. That was not good. So without much more talking, let's jump into it, try to get as much work done as possible and get this bike looking good once again. Alright guys, quick update. As you can see, I got carried away with putting all of this together. As you can see, my DIY paint booth is fully set up. Right now, I'm just currently working on the extractor fan to get those overspray out of the booth. Picked up a new fan, new filter. And next, I'm gonna cut a hole in this tarp and tape it all up and make sure it seals against that filter to make sure we can extract as much overspray as possible. So inside the boot, it's pretty simple. I have lots of zip ties securing everything, lots of tape, as you can see on this side. Some of the tapes are on the inside, some on the outside. It just depends on how I was able to get to it. But it's fully secured, fully enclosed. I'm hoping this would give me a better chance of getting a better paint job.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind.
So this is a couple feet away from the, see that? And it's going. So I think this is gonna work really well.
So as you can see, I have a lot of work cut out for me. All these parts needs to get paint, and the boat is up and running. I'm really liking the way it's working. I can see it extracting stuff, so that's really good progress. So the first thing I'm going to be getting done today is replacing this license plate holder I mounted before. For some reason it would never stay in this position. It always flagged. It doesn't matter how I tighten it, it always comes back like this, and I want it like this. So I picked up something else that's going to go on here. Let's fix this up real quick, and then we can start throwing some of those newly painted fairings on the bike. Alright guys, as you can see, most of the paint job turned out really good. Super happy about it. I think this is one of my best paint jobs so far.
installed the tank back on the motorcycle. I have the tank fairing on too. That's looking really good. I did go ahead and clear the fault codes that was on the motorcycle. The power motor flashing and would not engage, and you know, traction and the roll rate sensor, all that good stuff. So I cleared all of that. That's good. So I'm gonna go ahead and button it up right now, and then we can start assembling more parts for this bike.
What do you think, Finn? Does it look good? Yeah. Alright, boys, as you can see, this decals are going on, and I'm loving the way this is going on. Very good quality. I kind of messed it up a little bit down there, but that's going to be fixed later. But this one over here, perfect. That's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and throw on the one that goes on the nose fairing and on the tail section. And we're going to get this side all looking good and do the same thing on the other side.
A few moments later.
Alrighty guys, that's a wrap for today's video. If you enjoyed videos like this, make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment down below, let me know what you think about this video and the entire rebuild process. Be sure to check out my ZX-10R rebuild. I'm gonna have a link up here. Epic rebuild. On that note, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.
I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, you can build a building until you finally see it. Whoa, it's taking over.